What can I contribute to life that death won't rob? My name is Michael Otts and I'm an author and speaker. And as I travel to universities across Europe, I found that until relatively recently, the question of death isn't one that most students think much about. But all of that's changed. We've been reminded through the course of this pandemic of the reality of our mortality. But of course, the coronavirus pandemic hasn't increased the probability that any of us are going to die. That's never changed. It's always been 100%. The question is not if, but simply when and how. And if we are all going to die one day, it should make us ask the question, what is the point of my life before death? Does it really matter? Well, if death is the end, if there is nothing that lies beyond, then ultimately and consistently speaking, life doesn't really matter, does it? You might say, hang on a minute, I can have children and pass stuff on to a future generation. But can you remember the name of your great-grandparents? We will so easily be forgotten. You might say, well, I will contribute to make the world a better place and try and improve the world, and that's a worthy ambition. But ultimately, if death is not just the end for me, but for the universe as well, what is the point of everything we do and achieve? But if that is ultimately the reality that we face with life, what is the point? Many of us don't like the thought that this world is all there is, and so we might therefore say, there is something more. Maybe there's a heaven or a spiritual dimension, a paradise that one day we might go to. And that might be comforting, but what's the point of life before then? For many people, life simply becomes a test that we must pass. We just need to be good enough so that we can go to that other place. But what we really do, what we achieve and accomplish, that doesn't really continue. Christianity offers a different answer to this question though. It doesn't say this life is all there is, but nor does it say that our future destination is on some other spiritual dimension apart from this world. Christianity talks about the restoration of everything. It talks about the renewal of this physical world in which we live, and it invites us to be part of that. It's all based on the claim of Jesus' resurrection from the dead. And it says that resurrection is the hope, not just for us if we know and trust him, but for this world too. And if that's the case, then what we do in this life really matters. Life isn't simply an audition that we must pass, it's a rehearsal for the show that we'll be in for eternity. We're going to be part of this world, and so what we do in this world really matters. Not just the spiritual stuff that we might do in a church or on Sunday, but all of life, our studies, our hobbies, our arts, our environments. It all matters if the Christian faith is true, because God one day is going to restore all of life and make it new. That's wonderfully encouraging, isn't it? But maybe it's also a little bit sobering. Because if everything we do in life matters, then what about the stuff in life that we're not so proud about? What about the things that we know that we've done that have hurt others and spoilt our world? What does God do with that? If God was one day going to make a world that was without suffering and pain, could we be part of it? Because aren't we sometimes part of the problem? But this is the wonderful news of Christianity. That though we are sometimes part of the problem of this world, God offers us a solution. He doesn't simply give us a moral code that we need to try and live up to, but he offers us forgiveness, the forgiveness that he made available because of what Jesus Christ did in his death for us on the cross. He offers us a fresh start, and then by his Spirit coming into our lives, he offers us the ability to become new people, his agents of change and transformation in this broken and hurting world. And we're invited to partner with him in what he's doing, in restoring this world, and as we look forward to that hope of what he will do finally and fully one day. But you know, these are big questions, aren't they? So why not join us tonight? At 7:30, we're going to be having a live discussion where we can think about this in more detail and have a chance to look at the questions that you might have around it. But also, why not send us your questions? Because not only will we like to send you an answer to the questions that you've given us, but we'd also like to send you a treat as well. So why not get in touch, and we'd love to continue the conversation.